Eyes. How are you? Loki is finding a toy to show me, so in a minute we'll have a toy. Also, my husband is still not back from the grocery store, so expect to have a chaos emerge. And I forgot to put the do not disturb on. Why do I keep forgetting to do that? I need a check. I need to make myself a checklist. Good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing this morning? Feel free to share your shows and ask your questions. Today's topic is going to be explaining discoverability, how your show gets discovered on Whatnot. Good morning, Carl. Good morning, Dave from Alberta. Good morning, Champagne and Lollipops. And then, there we go. It started. He started. Hi, Extender Resale. Hey, that's enough. Come on. We let people walk on the road and we don't judge. Good morning, Caroline's Resale. That's a good boy. Okay. Now he's going to go see if I left any food on the table. Yep. That's what he's gone to do. Mom's busy. So good morning, Caroline's Resale. How are you? Silver Bridge. Good morning. Trista. Good morning. I mean, they're just living their life walking down our street. How dare they? I need to live in the middle of BF nowhere where there are no neighbors that they can bark at. I guess they'd have nothing better. I'd need to. No problem. Loki. 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 Come here and show me your toy. I've got your toy. You don't have your toy. I've got it. Okay. What are you doing? Oh, Daddy's home. Son of a nutcracker. Hello, everyone. Hang on a second. Oh, my God. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Happy Valentine's Day to you as well, Trista. Hello, Brandon and Dion Wright and everyone else who's come in during the chaos. Welcome in. Okay, what have I done here? What have I done to myself? Oh, I didn't want activity. I wanted messages. So we're going to be rating into the days gone by. Raid train that's going on right now. It's an ephemera raid train. It is awesome. There's way too much stuff that I want to buy. So I'm probably saving money by doing this show. So we're going to be rating into that, which looks like right now, Attic Hunters 2018 is on. It's a Canadian raid train. Yay, Canada. Then at 11, to noon, it's going to be Fragile OG. So we might end up coming into her, or hopefully I'll be done before noon. Otherwise, it's Vintage. So I have to write that down. Fragile OG or Vintage. So that is what we are going to be doing. Elvira, good morning, Elvira, and JG fan forever. Who's JG? Now I need to know. I don't know enough about pop culture, I feel like. Good morning, Elvira. How are you? Right. Okay. So we're going to talk about discoverability today. Why am I talking about discoverability today? Good morning, Absolute Flipping Deals. That's because Whatnot Whatnot has an amazing help center at help.whatnot.com. If you haven't gone there, you need to. Most of the answers you're ever going to look for are going to be at help.whatnot.com. It's an amazing resource. And they have this wonderful thing called discoverability, an article about discoverability. And that's basically how likely are you to be seen on someone's For You page or their followed host page or the category page is all dependent on the algorithm. Okay, so there's an algorithm. Now, I'm not going to be able to tell you exactly what is in the algorithm because first of all, the algorithm changes all the time. They tweak it constantly, so it's not like I can say, here's your formula. This is what you need to do. But what I am going to tell you is what are the signals that we know that the algorithm is looking for, and how even as a small seller, you can do small things to increase your possibility of being discovered on the app, being discovered more, right? So thank you so much, Dave from Alberta. Welcome in the Wakanda Way and Pittsburgh and Nat. Good morning. Good morning. So, oh, I didn't spell discoverability right. So that's why the article didn't come up. So they updated their article, Discover Understanding How Discoverability Works on Whatnot. So they updated it on February 5th. So just a week ago, just over a week ago, they updated the article and they added in some more information and detail. And I'm going to go through that with you. Um, Here's some key takeaways. Actually, I'll just go over it with you. But if you want to, I highly recommend that you go to, sorry, I know my screen's cracked, help.whatnot.com. Good morning, Picky. Good morning. Good morning, Jenny. Good morning, Paige. How are you all doing? So you go to help.whatnot.com and then you're going to type in discoverability or just put in discover and it should come up. Discoverability. Um, this is what I'm going to go over today, but if you want to read along or learn more, I'm not going to read the whole thing to you because you're all big kids and you'll be able to do that yourself. But how many of you are newer sellers on the app? Like it's been less than 6 months, 6 months or less. Put up some emojis or say me. Hello, Caroline's resale. Mickey Cap, good morning. PB and J, good morning. 1 week. That's awesome. Congratulations. Elvira is new. Nat is new. PB and J. Who else is less than 6 months? Blue Eyes is hoping for a first show next week. Mickey Cap says first show tomorrow. That's exciting. Congratulations. Wakanda Way has been here for 5 months. Jenny B. Wise hasn't gone live yet. That's okay. How many people are like Jenny and have not yet gone live? You can just put out some emojis. Trista has a first show at the end of the month. That's exciting. That's exciting. Look at that. Look at all the new folks. I'm so glad you're here to learn. Sicilian baby, good morning. You're going to do great, Mickey Cap. Everyone gets nervous. I still get a little bit nervous before I do my lives, but I've been going live almost every day for over a year now. So it's a little bit less nerve wracking. The more you do, the easier it gets. That's for sure. And you don't have to be front facing. You do not have to be front facing. A lot of people think that you do. And I saw on Facebook, someone said like, yeah, Dave from Alberta says it's not that bad and people are supportive. This community is amazing. Um, it just, if you don't want to be front facing, you don't have to be. Just show amazing stuff. I did a show about how to attract buyers, and one of the things about getting more buyers and return buyers, what is attractive on the screen, and actually just showing your hands, as long as they're clean, is enough. That the brain is looking for human connection, so the brain is attracted to human connection even if they only see your hands. So if especially if you're in like today, my ephemera show, I'm gonna probably be not facing the front. Most of the time I'm going to be showing the item on the table. So there are certain categories where your face is not important. Like if you're doing baseball cards, you're not going to hold it up like this, right? You're going to show it on the screen so everyone can see it. So there's a difference. Phil's Finds, good morning. So let me just pull up my little script here that I wrote. All right, hang on. I just have to search for it. And if you have shows that you would like to share, feel free to do so. And if you do have questions not related to discoverability, you're more than welcome always to ask them. This is, I will try to get to as many as I can. And what I usually ask is that you put, thank you, Elvira, is that you put a question mark. My glasses always change, so you never know what glasses I'm going to wear. I usually don't know what glasses I'm going to wear. A few minutes before I go live, I make my final decision. sometimes even seconds before I go live and make my final decision. I just kind of switch it up. There's like 3 pairs in front of me right now that if I decide I'm bored of these, I can switch. How many do I have? Over over 40, I would say. Definitely over 40. Some of them I don't wear very often. Some of them are a little bit too much, I guess is the best way to put it. And I tend to like now the bigger frames, these big sizes. I tend to like the big oversized frames, which is hilarious because back when these were the thing in the 80s, I hated this style. Hated it. It felt like my parents had the big gigantic glasses and I couldn't stand it. I just thought it looked ridiculous. And I liked the little small ones. But yeah, times change and so do our tastes. Okay. So let's get into it. So again, if you have questions not related to discoverability, feel free to ask them. I will try to get back to them. I'm going to try and make sure you put a question mark so it turns yellow. That's why you see some of the chat will have it will be yellow instead of white. It'll be yellow. That's because it's a question. It has a question mark. So that's how you get someone's attention. If you're trying to get someone's attention, that's how you will see it. So put the question mark in so that I'll be able to see it and answer you. If you're watching this later or live right now on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook, feel free to shoot me a message on Whatnot if you have a particular question that I wasn't able to answer today. You didn't get the answer today. And if you are watching this right now live and you want to come back and watch it again, you can go to my YouTube channel or my Facebook page or on Twitch. I don't know what. Anyways, my name on Facebook and YouTube is the Red Rooster CA. So the Red Rooster CA for Canada, because the other Red Rooster was already taken. And if you are a Canadian, even if you aren't a Canadian, we welcome everybody. We do have an unofficial Whatnot Canada Discord. That is a great discussion group for sellers, and buyers are welcome too. And the link information is in my show notes here on Whatnot. And you can also message me and I can send it to you directly if you want to. Okay, so let's get into hey, sorry, not sorry, Snacks. How are you? I saw that I just followed you back. I've heard that consistently running items helps. Not sure if that's true. It is, and I'll get into that. Caroline's Resale says, I thought we weren't allowed to say other social media sites while live. You are not allowed to say any other selling platform. If you sell on Facebook or you sell on Instagram or TikTok and you say, I've got this item here and I could sell it to you today on Whatnot, or if you want, you could buy it from me on Instagram tomorrow. That's not allowed. You could say, I have an Instagram page, follow me on my Instagram, but don't say, I have an Instagram page and I sell there. Just say, I have an Instagram page. You are not allowed to say, I have an eBay store that you can shop at. I don't have an eBay. I do not have an eBay store you can shop at. So I can say, I don't have a Poshmark store either. So I can say, I can't say that either. I know, but you're not allowed to say that. So don't redirect people to make off app purchases. Part of the reason for that is obvious. Whatnot's providing us with this platform. And there's expenses to that. And they want to make sure that they're generating money for themselves. The little that they get, they only get 8%. So they want to make sure that they're generating money. But on the other hand, too, it's a buyer's safety and security issue. It's an integrity issue. If someone comes onto Whatnot as a buyer and sees a seller and the seller says, oh, well, come on over to my Instagram and I'll sell you there. And then they get scammed, they're going to blame Whatnot because that's how they found out about it, right? They're going to say, I found out about this scammer on Whatnot. So they want to keep the integrity of the purchasing, not only just keep the money in. Absolute Flippin' Deal says a buyer more than a seller because of tariffs, etc. Canadian sellers need to put the Canadian flag or in profile saying they're a Canadian seller. That's how I discover Canadians. Yeah, you can also go in and search you can filter results in category pages. If you're in a category looking for shows in a certain category, you can filter, and I know, Donnie, you know this, but other people might not know this, that you can filter by where the items are shipped from. So you can go to the filter and select shipped from and then Canada, and you'll see all the Canadian shows only. So you can see stuff that's in Canada. For those of you who are Americans in the room, don't feel like we don't love you. We do. We just understand with the new tariffs that have been implemented by your current administration, and the removal of the de minimis exemption from products coming into the United States from other countries, buying from outside of the United States right now is not cost effective for most people. And we understand that. However, that doesn't mean that US buyers don't come into Canadian shows. A lot of Americans still buy from Canadian shows. It tends to be more in the, oh, thank you, honey. Love you. Hubby gave me my Valentine's gift. I haven't gotten him anything yet. Any ideas? He got me a card and some chocolates. And he's, oh, that's a good idea. I don't give those very often, connecting Caroline's resale. Is it difficult to sell international? You give him a VIP. He has enough of them around the house, Dave. He sees them everywhere. Oh, thank you. It's Karl Lagerfeld. It's fancy. I know. I will. I'll go out later. Is it difficult to sell international, or does Whatnot take care of that for the seller in the app? Shipping and currency. It's easy to sell international. You sell in Canadian dollars. So that part's easy. It's converted. An American coming into your room is going to, or anywhere else in the world, is going to see an estimate of the conversion to their conversion rate to their dollars, their local dollars. So when you go into a US show, you see that at the bottom. It'll say US $10 estimate, 13 or 14 or whatever it is now. You'll see that down below. So that's what they see, but just in reverse, they see the US dollar conversion instead. Shipping is really simple. You just need to add the country of origin to the information before you ship. And then you print the label. The seller, the buyer has already paid for the shipping. So you just need to make sure that you ship it on time and shove that label on, and that's about it. For US buyers, they for US buyers, thank you, Connecting Eras. That might be an idea if I remember how to do that. Caroline, so there's no opt-out. There's no opt-out for international selling. We just international sell. Yeah, there's no way to actually, it's not like eBay where you can say, I'm only going to ship to these areas. No. What if the person lives at an address where Whatnot ships? So it's super easy. The only thing is, if it's going to the US, you have to drop it off at a UPS drop-off location, which there are tons of UPS drop-off locations, and UPS also does free pickup. So you can actually get it picked up at your door. So super, super easy. Good morning. How are you? Nat says it's true. Tariffs suck. Have a lot of clients in US buying my vintage bags, but I need to cancel transactions. No more profit for me because of tariffs. You need to cancel transactions on Whatnot. If they're okay with paying the UPS fees, then I wouldn't worry about it. I always just, if it's a new buyer from me from the US that on another platform, yeah. On another platform, it totally sucks. But here, everything is a US buyer will pay the shipping, and then UPS will do the customs declarations and everything, and then we'll charge taxes, duties, and tariffs, because they're three separate things, as well as they will also, Loki, for the love of all things holy, get back. They will also charge a customs brokerage fee, and that's the big expense that people balk at. So what I do is, if I have a US buyer, after the show, I go and I look and I see where everybody's from, because you can do that at seller.whatnot.com. You can click and see where everybody's from, their address, and where it's going to send. And if I see a US, then I message, and they're new to me, I message them and just say, thank you so much for your purchase. I really appreciate your support. You picked a really great item. I just want to double check before I ship this out that you are okay with the UPS fees. And then I explain that UPS charges a brokerage fee, which can be as low as $10 and can be as high as $24 US, plus then whatever the government charges for taxes, duties, and tariffs, because the de minimis exemption is gone. So I have a little blurb that I have saved on my phone, and I just cut and paste it in. And I add my own little personal little note for each person, depending on what they bought. And then I just say, if you would like to cancel, that is fine. Just request a cancellation and I will approve it. I don't purposely send it out because I just feel like it's better customer service to say, I just want to double check. Are you okay with this? If so, great. I will ship it. If they don't answer you within 24 to 48 hours, then you don't want to affect your shipping time. So just ship it out if they don't answer you. But otherwise, I wait to just double check and see if the person is okay with it first, because I don't want them being surprised. And even though I've got a little note in my show notes, and I have a little I don't know if I have it in my show today. I have a little thing. If you go to my ephemera show that's later on today, I have a little US buyers read this thing that explains it to them. So that's also in my auction store. I don't say it out loud anymore. I don't constantly say it because it's been a few months now, right? So but I do message just to be on the safe side. It's better to be safe and just keep the item and you can sell it again. If it was good enough to buy the first time, it'll be good enough for someone to buy the second time. And I would just rather not have the hassle. If it ships to them and they refuse to pay the fees, technically they don't get a refund, but you still get your payout. You will still get your payout. Whatnot may not approve their refund request if they try to do a refund request if they refuse to pay the shipping. So that's the thing. Good morning, Liz. Good morning, Sean. Good morning, Bradley. Welcome in, everybody. Sadia, good morning. How are you? Lydia, good morning. Okay, so we are talking about discoverability on Whatnot. Again, they just updated. Creed's card says UPS will send you a bill 4 months later, and they tell you you're in collections if they decline. Sends them a bill or us a bill. If you get a bill from you, if it gets returned to sender and you get a bill from UPS, message Whatnot. They have. I can't promise that they're going to do it again, but they have in the past refunded Whatnot Canada sellers who got a bill from UPS for a return to sender from a unpaid because of the buyer didn't want to pay the tariffs. Okay, let's get into discoverability. We can talk about so Creed's cards, if you still have that receipt, message Whatnot. Message Whatnot if you still have that receipt at sellersupport@whatnot.com. So we're talking today about discoverability. If you go again to help.whatnot.com and search discoverability, you'll see that they just updated February 5th or February 6th. They updated their article about discoverability. So I'm going to go through it and talk to you about how does, yes, Lydia, everything's automatic on Whatnot. After you fill in the information you need to, it's automatic. So I will try to get to everyone's questions not related to discoverability. After I finish this, I'm going to blast through and then I'll take other questions as well. So feel free to ask your question. I may just wait until afterwards to respond. So make sure that you put a question mark on it so I'll be able to find it later when I'm searching through the chat. Good morning, Ina. How are you? So today we're talking about discoverability. And what does discoverability simply mean? It's how your show gets shown to people inside the Whatnot app. There is no magic trick. There is no secret hack to this. There's just some simple steps to take. And please note that Whatnot changes their algorithm all the time. So again, I cannot give you a secret formula that is because it changes all the time. They have shared enough information publicly that we can understand the things that matter most. So we're not trying to beat a system here. We're talking about how to work within the algorithm, the discoverability system, in order to help you to get seen by more people. So first first off, there are 3 spots where your show can appear. When you open up the app, we've all opened up the app on Whatnot. Maybe a couple of people haven't, but most of us have opened up the app on Whatnot on our phones. And your show, there you can see the first thing is you have these tabs, and the first one that you see is your For You page. Most people don't go farther than the For You page. They scroll through the For You page, they find somewhere they want to go, and that's how they discover shows. So the For You page is probably the most important tab on Whatnot. So that For You page is the home page that you see. It's personalized for each buyer. Every single person who comes onto Whatnot sees a different For You page. No one For You page is the same as anyone else's. The app tries to show you as a viewer live shows that they think you are most likely to watch, to bid in, and to buy from. So the system is constantly asking, is this buyer likely to interact with this show? If so, the algorithm, am going to show that this buyer that show. There's also the category tab. Hey, secondhand sarcasm, how are you? Good morning, stamp pickers. Good morning, everybody else. Welcome in. So inside the category tab, if someone clicks into vintage or trading cards, they see shows listed there, starting with live shows first and then upcoming shows after that. If you, as a seller, choose the wrong category when you schedule your show, you might not show up in front of the right buyers at all. So picking the right category is important. I'm glad to see you too. You have to be in the right place before you can even be considered. And we'll talk about this later. There's also the followed hosts section. Followed hosts. We're called hosts. I don't feel like a host, but okay. Today I'm a host. Welcome into my room. Would you like a canapé? This shows buyers the sellers they've chosen to follow. So it will only show you, yes, seller can choose multiple categories to sell in, but you can only do one category per show. If your followers do not interact with your shows, so even if they follow you, but they don't interact with you at all, you are going to appear lower on the followed hosts page. If they do interact with you, if they're your regular buyers or they come into your shows a lot, good morning, everybody, you're more likely to be at the top. So here's what they're looking for. Based on what Whatnot has shared, there are 5 big things that affect discoverability. Firstly, buyer history. If someone has watched you before, bid in your shows, bought from you, followed you, bookmark your show, bookmark an item that's in your show, if they've pre-bid, if they've interacted in any way in your shows in the past, they are more likely to see you again. Because Whatnot knows that people go back to what they trust. So Whatnot is showing what they trust and what they like. Repeat buyers help you to get seen again. So offering coupons and if you have the eligibility for Rewards Club, when you do have the eligibility for Rewards Club, use it, because that's going to help you to get those repeat buyers back. Retention now isn't just about making a sale, making money. It's also about visibility. You're going to get seen more by those people that already were with you. So the fact you came into my show today means that next time I come on, I'm probably going to get seen by you again, especially if you follow like the community category and I'm doing a community show, I'm likely to get shown by you. So number 2, that's number 1. Good morning, Thrift Star. Number 2 is the app tries to predict which shows people will engage in. So activity in your live show matters. So bidding. And someone asked before, I heard that constantly running auctions is important. Is that true? Yes, because that's showing activity to the algorithm. And if you don't run an auction, nobody can bid on anything. So don't wait for someone to ask you to run that item. Run the item anyways. Touch and run. Just touch. So pin the item, talk about the item, run the item, repeat. Pin the item, talk about just keep doing that. Pin, talk, run. Why do you pin? Because it gives people a chance to see what the item's about beforehand. It's also a signal. It's another signal to the algorithm that you're an active show, that it's not a dead show. So pin, talk, run. Again, if you want to get bids, so because bidding is part of activity that the algorithm is looking for, the only way you're going to get bids is if you pin, talk, run. So just be selling all the time. So activity like bidding. Loki, get down. Go see Daddy. Here, go. This is his Valentine's Day toy. Okay, go play with your Valentine's toy. All right. So, bidding, orders. So if somebody orders from your buy it now. So encourage people to stop. Encourage people to go into your buy it now. Do you want to come up and say hi? You come here. I know. Daddy's gonna have to entertain you. Okay, go see Daddy. Not me. No. Go see Daddy. He's got food. He's got a cookie for you. Go see Daddy. Oh. Yesterday we had to take him to the vets, and I'm still highly stressed because he barks the entire time we go there. It's and then all the way back, nonstop barking and whining. Okay, come on up. Up there. Okay, yes. Say hi to the people. Tell them all about how. Yeah, I know. Okay, now you can go. Go see Dad. Go get. Love, help. Help. Nick. Go see Daddy, please. Okay. Okay. All right. So bidding, orders. So encourage people to go into the buy it now. He won't calm down. Thank you, Nick. Encourage people to go into your buy it now and purchase from your buy it now too, because anytime somebody buys, even if you have stickers or something in there, if they buy some extra stuff, every time there's a purchase in your show, you are going to have another signal that you're giving to Whatnot's algorithm. Chat interaction is another one that is important. A chatty chat, people talking in the chat, is going to give a signal to Whatnot that this is a show people are enjoying to watch. Because remember, Whatnot is not looking just for shows that you're going to buy from, but shows that you're going to watch and stay in and watch. And so they know, the algorithm, they know, and so they built it into the algorithm right now that chatting shows are important. So ask your audience questions like, hey, what's everybody doing for Valentine's Day? I'm doing this show, and then I'm going to be setting up another show for this evening, and then I'm going to go out for dinner tonight with my dear husband. We're going to go out to a real restaurant, everything. Freddie Min says, I love talking to everyone more than talking about my products, but that's what people love, right? So, people love that interaction. Whatnot is shoppertainment. Whatnot is QVC on steroids. This is not your static, okay, so like we're going to show this next. I'll run it now. I can't even do it for that long. Oh my gosh. And Elvira says, I've made some good friends because of it. Yeah. And Mickey says, I love shows like that, Freddie Mintz. Yes. So as a buyer, that's the kind of show you want. Somewhere where you're talking with folks. You want to show products too. I mean, you're there to sell as well, but having that interaction is important, and it's part of the signal to the algorithm. So also follows. If people follow you during the show, so make sure to say every once in a while, hey, everyone, please don't forget to follow me and bookmark my upcoming shows. I would love to see you again. It's so great that you're all here. So, hey, everyone, if you haven't followed me yet, please go up there and hit that follow button, because I would love to see you again in a future show. I do these chat shows now. Fridays, I do a seller chat with it. I interview someone who's in the fashion category. And then on today, on Saturdays, I do a seller chat that that is all about one particular topic. We always do one topic every Saturday morning. Plus, I take questions. Lydia says, I agree. As a buyer, it's very pleasant to have the seller interact. Yeah, I think it's really important. And good morning to everybody who's come in that I've missed you. Welcome in. I love you all. So a show that is active looks more attractive to a system than a show that is quiet. So that's why constantly interacting, encouraging people to, asking questions. But as what Liz Likes has said many times over the past 3 years that I've been on Whatnot and she's been doing chat shows, she always says, make sure that if you ask a question, you answer it yourself and don't sit there and wait for everyone to answer you back. Because there's nothing more awkward than going, so what's everyone doing today? Anyone? Yeah. So I love everyone. Please follow What Liz Likes. She is amazing. I love her. Um, what am we having for dinner tonight, Frenny? We haven't just we're going to a local restaurant. It's a pub and eatery. I don't know why he calls it an eatery, but anyways, it's a pub. It's an eatery. It's a restaurant. So we're going there. We call it Gillies. Bueller. Yes, Bueller. I love that connecting eras. That's so sweet. Yeah. So always remember to sort of ask the question, because this is what Liz taught me. Ask the question, then answer it yourself. Make sure you answer it yourself. Because and Elvira says, my husband is making me pasta when I get home from work. I love that. Connecting Era says, I have the most amazing buyers that are flirting with the idea of selling themselves, and then to get them involved, I assign to mod. That's great. Stamp Picker says, niche communities are a huge thing on this platform. We have so much fun together, and happy Valentine's Day. I love you, Stamp Pickers. Your husband is making you pasta when you get home from work, says Elvira. That's lovely. Yay, Magnus Marika. I'm happy you liked your pin. I picked a pin that I thought was more you than the other one. I didn't think the sarcasm pin was as much you as the other one. So I picked one that I thought was you. Although you may be sarcastic in real life too, but like me, but I thought the other one was more your vibe. Okay. So we have 5 big things about discoverability. So 1 is buyer history. 2 is activity within your live show. 3 is seller reliability. And this is one that they really, thank you, Man of the North. I'm so glad. This is the one that they've added more detail into the new article about. And I think it's really important. And you will notice if you've signed in, if you're a seller and you signed into your Whatnot app recently, you will have noticed that there's a new feature on your seller hub that tells you what basically your trust and safety score is for, like, have you been late on dropping off items, how many items have been returned, and there's more trust and safety information that is showing up. This is becoming more important to Whatnot, and they are rewarding shows that have a better rating. So the higher your percentage is, when you go into your seller hub, you'll see it. The higher your percentage is on those things. And you know what? For transparency, I will show you. My drop-off rate is not perfect, but I will show you. Oh, it's not on Android yet, so I can't show you. Don't see it on my Android, but I might have to update the app. But it's actually a bar, and it says your percentage for drop-off rate, which mine is still in the green. I'm still green. I'm okay. I'm green. It's not perfect. That's a great idea, connecting areas. Good morning, Rodney from Winnipeg. How are you? So welcome in, everybody, and feel free to ask questions not related to discoverability. I will try to get to them later. Just make sure you put a question mark at the end of it so that I'll be able to see it. So seller reliability is becoming more important on this app and is part of your ranking to get discovered. So they are looking for, how fast do you ship? Faster shippers get seen more often and higher up than slower shippers. It's just the reality. How often do you, the seller, cancel items? Now, I will, if I find an issue with something that I've sold and the buyer says, I always message the buyer and say, I found this issue that I didn't see live. Here it is. Do you still want this item? If you don't, that's okay. I will cancel. And then I will cancel because I is the seller. Thank you, Connecting Eras. Um, Thank you so much, Connecting Eras. So, how often you cancel is important. So, as a seller, you're going to have some cancellations every once in a while. I've dropped things and broken them as I was about to ship it. It happens. Poop happens, right? And then, of course, I'm going to cancel. If a buyer requests a cancellation, that does not reflect on you. Buyers who request too many cancellations can get suspended by Whatnot. So if a buyer just comes in, buys stuff, and just keeps canceling, don't worry, those people will get their just desserts. Karma in the form of Whatnot will hit them. So, how often you have buyers who request refunds? So, do you ship out and the item isn't as described and you get a lot of refund requests, or you ship and you don't package properly, so items get damaged a lot? Then you're gonna have more refund requests, and that does reflect on you, fairly or unfairly. It just does. And how accurate your listings are. So if you don't, um, Franny, I would do that. Yeah, I would just do that. If I would just create a new bundle, I would just create an item for them that was the whole bundle. I would do that for them. But they have to request it. I would just do that if you trust them. It's just better than them being upset, right? Sorry. So if you ship fast and keep your issues low, that's going to help your overall standing. Discoverability isn't just about the energy on the camera live, it's also about what you do in the back end at the end to make sure that your items arrive safely, um, to your customers. Number 4 is the category. Category is super important. And here's the interesting I will be talking in a minute about some interesting things, but here's the one thing. First of all, make sure you're in the right category. So if you are selling toys, but you're in estate sales, but all you're doing is selling toys, you're missing out on a whole bunch of toy buyers who would otherwise come into your show. So sometimes you need to go outside of your category to attract the right buyers if you're having a very specific show. Okay. But also, one of the things that they mention in this article is that they're looking at when they show people on your For You page. Um, oh, good, Connecting Eras. If you, on the For You page, one of the things that they're looking at is the seller's usual category. So if I do a show in Pokemon cards, um, but you don't follow Pokemon cards, but you follow me, or you follow my usual category of estate sales or deal hunting, then you may see my show, even though it's a Pokemon show. You may still see me. If you are a seller that constantly, inconsistently jumps between completely different categories on an inconsistent basis, the system has a hard time figuring out what kind of seller you are. So, if you would like to sell in multiple categories on Whatnot, do it. Absolutely do it. It is the best way for you to get the right eyes on your stuff. If you've got ephemera and you want to do ephemera shows, do ephemera shows. If you want to do a pop-up because you just got a bunch of stuff and it's in a category you don't usually do, still do a show, because the people that follow you will get notified, and if they come into your shows even just to chat. I did Pokemon shows, okay? I've done Yu-Gi-Oh shows. I don't usually do that. Every once in a while, I will do a show outside of my wheelhouse, because I'm an auctioneer. I sell just about anything that stays still long enough, right? So I look. I still had people come in, and I still had buyers, because my all the other pieces, other elements, like my buyer experience was good, and the interaction in the show, chat people coming in and chatting with me, and we were just having fun. Like I had no freaking clue what I was selling, so we were just having fun chatting back and forth during the show. um Caroline's resale, you can watch this on YouTube afterwards. I'm on YouTube at the Red Rooster CA. So this entire show is available afterwards on YouTube. All of my live shows that can. Loki, leave them alone. Come here. Anyways, all of my live shows are on there. Are you gonna go see Daddy? He desperately needs you. Go see Daddy. Go see Daddy. Go. Go. Never gonna get through this show at this point. Sorry, I know. Nick. Yeah, my YouTube is the Red Rooster CA. All one word, the Red Rooster CA. It's also in my bio and in my show notes too. Puppy, you just need to go chillax. I don't know what's up with you. Maybe I need to give you some drugs. Drugs? You want drugs? Yeah? Yeah, you do. Maybe your papa is hurting. Is your papa still hurting? Let me see Pa. Is papa owie? Here. I'm going to take it off. I'm going to take the cover off for you, okay? There. Does that feel better? No more owie papa. Okay. Connecting Earth says, I sell vintage decor, antiques, and jewelry lately, but I also sell VHS, marble shows, and everything in between for a variety. Yeah, so the recommendation is if you want to sell in multiple categories, Man the North says, I usually sell comics, but I'll sell sports cards soon. So I have some suggestions on how to do. I will have some suggestions later on if you want to do other categories, how to do it as cleanly as possible to be as algorithm friendly as possible. Now, you don't need to do all of these things, okay? Take what you like and leave the rest. They're constantly tweaking the algorithm. So it doesn't mean you can't rotate categories. It just means that the system, you need to just do it a little bit more smartly, and we'll talk about this later. So number 5 is the other thing that they're looking for is momentum. Whatnot has said that their system looks at what is happening now. Come on. We're going to find something. Good morning, Ali. I'm dealing with a furry child that won't stop barking at the neighbors. So let's find something for you to chew. Yes, you can add your social media into your notes and your bio if you want to. Yeah, my dog has decided that he wants to be the star of today. I've got treat. I'm just going to give him constant treats. I don't care if he gets the poops later. He'll be fine. Australian Shepherds must have the constitution of a horse or an ox or something. I don't know. The dog does need a binky. All right. Sorry, everybody. You'll get to watch this part on YouTube too. You need to Loki to keep unsavory folks in my backyard. I thought you didn't live in Red Deer. Sorry. Made Red Deer joke. Okay. So momentum. Number 5, momentum. Whatnot has said their system looks at what's happening right now. So if your show has active bids, ongoing sales, a chat that's moving, people joining in, watching and staying, that momentum likely will help you. Dead air will not. So shows that are pretty quiet and boring are not going to get Whatnot's attention. There's a pretty big push for Canadian sellers to hop into the coins and currency. Spoke to Nina. Ooh, well, we'll talk more because that could be another whole interview series. Stamp pickers, are you in for an interview series where we interview stamps and coins and currency and all the good things? That'd be fun. Ooh, yay. Hey, B&D Collectibles. Okay, so what to do before your show. So choose your category carefully. I can't say this enough. Be clear about what kind of seller you are. Decide what your main category or couple of categories are going to be. If you're mainly vintage, stay mainly vintage. Keep that as your regularly scheduled, consistent show schedule. Um, if you want to expand, do it with structure. So, also keep your listings. Listings are important. Listings are another signal to Whatnot. Listings clean and accurate. Don't try and do any keyword stuffing in order to try and utilize, try and game the system. It doesn't work. Keyword stuffing doesn't work on Whatnot. Don't have confusing titles, no misleading descriptions. Make sure that everything is clear. Clear is better than clever. You may think, I asked ChatGPT and ChatGPT says I should use this for optimum SEO performance. No, not on Whatnot. Clear titles, clear descriptions of what the item is. So there's no guessing later on, and your buyers are going to be satisfied. Protect your shipping record at all costs if you can. So ship as fast as you can. Use the in-app scanner to scan your to scan and your drop-offs. It takes a picture and it will let your customer know, here's a picture of your box that's coming. Have a great day, stamp pickers. We'll definitely talk. We'll definitely talk later. I love you. You still can't figure out the scanner. If for some reason it's not scanning, I will always love vintage. Just wait and eventually it'll come up with a little square for you to take the picture yourself. It's a pain in the butt. Dear Whatnot, can you make it so it does that? How early can you scan before actually dropping off? Like if you've finished and you're ready to go out the door and you want to scan before you leave to drop it off, that's what I usually do is I scan just before I start loading up the van and say it's going to be a couple of hours. Like I'm going to load up the van and then I'm going to do my show and then I'm going to go. That's what I usually do. I usually scan before I'm going to head out, or I'm going to put them in the van. Because I tried doing it. Loki, come here. More cookies for you. I tried doing it. I tried doing it at the post office. And it just, the scanner wouldn't scan and it was awkward and I just gave up. I used an F word. I used the F bomb because I was frustrated. It wouldn't scan for me. Keep your cancellations as low as possible. Try not to cancel if you can. Most people don't. The reality is why is it that cancellations are bad? The reality is that there's some nefarious folks out there who cancel. Man of the North, he's not that smart. I did go above son of a nutcracker. I did, Dave. So cancellations should be avoided at all costs. Sometimes it's going to be necessary, but there are nefarious characters out there who, if they don't like the price that they got for an item in their auction, they then cancel, right? So that's what Whatnot's trying to avoid. Your on-time scan rate is on 82%. That's okay, Allie. You can work on that, right? You're still in the green though, right? Hey, Soulless, you're still in the green. I'm at 88.7%, I think. And that's because I had a couple of times where I was like really late because I was not feeling all that great. One of them was I had a severe kidney infection right after I did a show. It like hit me like a ton of bricks. So keep your cancellations low and if you can, keep your refunds low. I know it's not easy to because there's sometimes buyers are going to complain when there's nothing to complain about. That's not your fault, but try to, if you're going to ship it like you're packaging up a baby in a hurricane, right? Like I over package. And I will say one thing, really important thing. If you are using bubble wrap to wrap items that are breakable, put a piece of paper or tissue paper between the item and the bubble wrap, because bubble wrap can damage the finish on your items. I cannot say this enough. You will ruin the glaze, you will ruin the paint, because especially in the summer, the bubble wrap can actually get stuck. The condensation builds up inside your box. You think your box is dry, nothing's dry. And you are going to actually damage. Hi, Reworkers Passion, how are you? So paper. Even if you use old wrapping paper, I don't care. Just paper. Paper, not newspaper, y'all. because then you're just going to get newsprint on your precious item too. Tissue paper or plain paper, or the white part of old wrapping paper, whatever you have. Hello, Reworkers Fashion. Leslie, my friend, how are you? So keep your ship fast, scan fast. Do that. Use that in-app scan feature if you can. Keep your cancellations low. Keep your refunds low. That builds trust, and trust matters for the algorithm. Also, warm up your audience. Wait, Loki, come here. Warm up your audience. What does that mean? Encourage people to bookmark your future shows. Shows that are bookmarked, have more bookmarks, are more likely to get shown on the category page and the followed host page. Even if you're not live yet, it's more likely you're going to get seen on there. Post reminders on your social media. Share on your social media that you're doing a Whatnot show. I don't do this enough. I need to do this more. I don't use my social media enough. So share your shows out there. We have a Whatnot Canada unofficial, Whatnot Canada Discord. You can share your shows to that anytime. We have a whole channel where you can go in and share your shows there. So do that. Every time you share your show, you're telling Whatnot's algorithm that this is a show people are interested in. And also, you're going to bring more people to your show when you share it yourself. Loki, looky here. If buyers interact with you regularly, they're more likely to see you again. So that's why you want to encourage your buyers to come back into your show. Some people do share their show, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, anything like that. So anywhere you can share it. Discord, your company stack. I don't know, any of them. How could I scan and show stuff when I only use my cell phone? Does Whatnot know that you shared it? Yes, Whatnot knows the number of shares. It actually counts how many shares that your show got. It's one of the things, the metrics that they always look for. So it's important to them, right? Get people interacting with your show before you even go live. One of the things that I always suggest is don't just share your show. If you've got an amazing item that you've listed in your shop, share the item. Share the item. Say, I've got this item that's coming up in my Whatnot auction on Thursday. Make sure you get your pre-bids in and check it out. People going in to look at the item, click on the link and go in and look at that item, they're going to get told because they just interacted with you. So because they interacted with you and came into that show, they're going to get shown that show again later when you go live and in their followed host page and on the category page. So the first 10 minutes of your show actually do matter. A lot of people start their shows off pretty chill. I'm guilty of this often. But I usually am interacting. So I'll tell you why. Your first 10 minutes matter. Don't sit there and wait for people to come in. I hear that a lot. I'm just going to wait for a few more people to come in before I start my show. You've already started. You hit start show. You already started your show. Your show has started. So do something. Interact. Pin some stuff. Run a flash sale. Do something. Don't just sit there and wait until more people come in. Yeah, I get it. You're waiting for people to see the notification that you've gone live. So don't sell your banger stuff. Have some other stuff that would be interesting that people might bid on. Some lower cost items, some lightweight items. Run something. It doesn't have to be your banger stuff. Yeah, are you not going to get 200 bids on that item? But yeah, there's a raid train section for sure. Yeah. Oh, Loki, look, I have more food. Yeah, and as Lydia says, as a buyer, she says, if you wait, people are going to get bored and leave. So, they don't want to sit around for 10 minutes either. So start running some stuff, pin some stuff, run some flash sales, ask people questions. How's your day been? What's been going on? To get them to interact with the chat and send those signals out. It's like sending out the bat signal to Whatnot that you're a show that they should be showing to other people. Ask people for follows, encourage people to chat, run desirable things, get bidding going. Early activity likely helps your show be shown to more people. Now, During the show, keep things moving as much as possible. Keep things moving. If you need to take a break to go grab something, run a flash sale while you're doing that. Say, hang on, I'm just going to go over here and grab this box. Now, do I always do this? This is a do as I say, not as I do thing. Run a flash sale while you go grab that stuff. You know, if you need to just go and let the dog out, which I do often, run a flash sale. Don't stop. Loki, look, I have another one. You're going to be so full later. There you go. It's all healthy food, by the way, everybody. It's okay. I'm not giving him garbage. When it shows one person in the room inside your show at the top, does that mean only one person in your they do count you? They do. But here's what I'd say, Connecting Era. Don't look at that number. That number at the top lies. Right now, my number says 35. There are people who are watching that that it may not count. Assume that there's somebody there. Even if you think you're alone, you're not really alone. Plus, people can watch from the lobby. You can go to your screen and you can hold. It used to be that you'd get live tiles. Now you have to like hold your finger down and then you can see the live show, which, by the way, Whatnot, I don't like, but I guess it was an issue with bandwidth that they do that. So assume that people are still there. Lydia asks, what do you think of giveaways at the beginning to keep people hooked to your show once they got free shipping? Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one strategy for selling. A lot of people in the States do that because US sellers have something called plain white envelope, which costs like a $1-ish. I'm just going to say $1-ish. I know it's not exactly that, but let's just say it's about $1. Okay, so it only costs them about $1 to ship. As opposed to us in Canada, where even a 0 to 1 ounce item is still going to cost anywhere from like $8 to someone who lives close to me to $25 to someone who lives far away. So there's that balance of like, if you're a small seller and you can't afford to be shipping out giveaways for every show, I don't recommend it. Offer a coupon instead to get people hooked. That would be my recommendation. You can create new buyer coupons so you can just keep live in every show. So when a new buyer comes in, you can say, if you're new to me, use the code Loki. Use the code new buyers, and you Freeman says $17 for a sample cream giveaway. Yeah. I've had like 25. The worst I had was 30. And I think that was going to Europe. Oh, then that was a while ago when shipping was a little bit more expensive from Canada. So during the show, avoid those long gaps, avoid too much dead time, keep your energy steady, keep running items. Pin, touch, run. Pin, touch, run. Or pin, talk about, run it. Pin, talk about it, run it. If you're doing a scan show, some people love scan shows. Some people can't stand scan shows. If you do, Elvira, if you go to, so Elvira asks, I don't see an option to do the coupons, which is a great way to encourage people to buy. Is that something you have to work up to get access to? No, new sellers can use coupons. So you go to seller.whatnot.com and then you want to, sorry, got to grab another dog treat, seller.whatnot.com. And then you want to go to the promotions tab there. And that's where you're going to find, it's going to say promotions and marketing, I think. And at the bottom of the drop-down menu, it's going to say coupons. And you can set up a coupon. So you can set up a coupon just for new buyers. You can set up a coupon that's for everybody. And you can use it throughout all your shows. You can make special ones. I have like over 600 coupon codes. I'm a little bit over the top. You just took all of it. So you don't need chaos. You just need constant activity, consistent activity. You cannot give a coupon as a giveaway. No, that is not allowed. You can find out more about giveaways at help.whatnot.com. Sicilian Baby says, the one thing I do not love as a buyer on here is being asked, what would you like to see? Many, many times and then not showing products. You cannot do coupon codes for buyer appreciation giveaways either. No. Thank you. Living the Dream says Seller Hub, marketing, coupon, create coupon. Yes, you can. You cannot give away coupons as a giveaway. It must be a tangible item. You cannot give away cash. It must be a tangible item. You can, if you're in coins and bullion and you want to give away a gold coin, that's a different thing. That's not the same as cash. You can give away gift cards to Amazon or Starbucks or Timmy's or something like that. But you cannot do coupon codes for buyer appreciation giveaways. You can do coupon codes as a buyer appreciation by sending a coupon code in with your shipments. Say thank you so much. That helps you retain that customer, and that customer come back to you by saying thank you so much. Here's $2 off your next purchase from me, or 10% off, or 20% off, whatever you want to do. Those bring customers back. Long-term growth. Focus on repeat buyers. Look at the end of the day, you want to have new buyers, but your repeat buyers are also important. Being known for something specific. So if you have a main category, make sure that you are consistent in that main category. Try to keep your shipping fast. Try to reduce your low problem rates and be consistent week over week. All of that helps. So discoverability builds over time. It's not a one show event. Discoverability is from all the activity that you've had with your buyers and they've had with you, and your history through Whatnot. If you are somebody that left Whatnot and comes back again, your discoverability is going to be low because the algorithm doesn't have any recent information about you. So this is why I'm going to talk about how, like, yes, maybe for 6 months you decided to do only estate sales, but then you decide to get into clothing. I'm going to talk about how to transition or incorporate a new category smoothly in that the algorithm will like, that is more algorithm friendly. So Loki, come here. Rotation isn't the problem on Whatnot. It's about unstructured rotation. So if you move around categories too much in an unstructured way, the algorithm doesn't know what to do with that. It doesn't understand that. So create set days for certain categories. So if you want to rotate through different categories, try to create a schedule so that everybody knows that and this is a do as I say, not as I do. So everybody knows that on Monday you do estate sales, Wednesday you do books, Thursday you do ephemera, and then on the weekends you do vintage decor. Loki, come here, right? So for example, sorry, just an example. Now, the systems and your buyers can understand what to expect. Yeah, definitely, Lydia. So keep one main identity. If 70% of your shows are vintage and 30% are sports cards, the system still clearly sees you as a vintage seller who also sells cards. It's easier for the system, the algorithm, to understand that and to then show you to the right buyers. So it knows you consistently sell in the sports cards category as well. So when sports cards people are looking for a show, because you are consistently on Wednesdays doing that, you're more likely to be up higher in the discoverability. This dog thing is making me distracted. Okay. Do not mix totally different categories into one show, because unless you're doing estate sales or storage auctions, you're going to find that, yeah, people may come in and out. But if you've got a certain amount of stuff in toys, for example, like I've got a bunch of toy stuff, I'm going to do a separate toy show and I'm going to pre-promote it. And I'll talk about that in a second. I'm going to pre-promote that I'm doing this toy show in like 2 weeks, and it's all going to be toys, as opposed to me keeping it in with my estate sale stuff, because yeah, it works with estate sale because people know that Loki. People know that that they're going to see toys in an estate sale. So it's not like it's unexpected, but most of the time I'm not getting the toy buyers that I want, right? I know he's a dog. He's a goofy dog. He's been really high strung since he came back from the vets. So setting aside is a way that you are going to get the right customers into your show. Loki, come here. Loki. Getting the right customers into your show is important. So you may say, I wonder why the I did an estate sale, but when I was selling the toys, nobody was interested. Well, that's because there weren't the toy people in the room. The toy people didn't know that you were selling toys because the algorithm didn't know to tell them. And I will get to your other questions too after I finish this part. So rotation, Loki, rotation can actually increase your discoverability though. So it's not a bad thing to rotate through categories. So you can tap into a new group of buyers that will actually see your other shows because they've interacted with you. They're likely to see your other shows that aren't related to the categories that they follow because they interact with you as a seller. So you can create multiple small loyal communities that will cross over often. You introduce your existing buyers to a new category and they will engage with it. So when you're going to introduce a new category, I highly recommend that what you do is in the days leading up to that show that you say, and by the way, everybody, I'm going to be doing a toy show next week. I hope you guys can check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've got a whole bunch of really cool vintage toys that I'm going to be selling. Please bookmark that show. If done properly, you're not confusing the system, you're expanding your reach. So it's not a bad thing to be in multiple categories. You just need to do it strategically. So if you want to test a new category safely, my recommendation is that if you want to try something new, announce it ahead of time clearly, share it on your social media, share it in your shows, and dedicate one specific show to it as your first test show. Encourage your regular buyers in your show to bookmark it and watch how engagement and sales perform. Do not assume that your very first toy show is if that's your, we're calling it toy show, is the test show. If your very first test show in a new category isn't successful the first time, that doesn't mean that you don't have the ability to be successful in that category. It just takes time to build that toy audience, and you just try again. Just keep doing it and create so if you've got enough stock for you to do, say, one show a week or one show a month in a different category, then do that and create that consistency. Like on the last Saturday of every month, I do toys. Whatever, or every Saturday I do toys. Whatever it is that you want to incorporate new, create a new schedule, add it into your schedule, make sure you announce it, and tell your current buyers in the show about your upcoming shows. Something that I don't do often enough. So do not panic if after one show it doesn't work out. Treat it like an experiment and keep going. If you want to, I do have a free resource that's available for Whatnot sellers. It's called it's a 4-week, I have a goal planner. It's a full 2026 goal planner with a calendar and everything. One of the things that I added on to the 2026 goal planner that I didn't have in 2025 is a special section that is a 4-week cycle. So this gives you an opportunity to introduce new categories, new show ideas that you have, and you can download that for free. The information is up in my show notes, in my bio. Loki, come here. Or you can just DM me and I will send you the link as well. And that way you can download that and try it out and use that 4-week cycle to test new things that you want to try out on Whatnot. So discoverability isn't about tricks. It comes down to being clear about who you are. Be consistent. Make sure that you're creating activity within your shows before, during, and convert your viewers into buyers. So use your coupon codes, use your rewards club, and ship well. Ship well so that you have less refunds. Ship well as when before your show. Listings are vital. Good pictures, good descriptions, good titles, so that there's no guesswork as to what they're going to get, right? Don't, unless you're doing random pulls, and that's a different thing. You want to be as clear as possible so there's no confusion later on. Make sure that you show up regularly and be as consistent as you possibly can. Whatnot loves consistency. The algorithm loves consistency because it's looking for those signals, and consistency is something that it's a computer brain, right? It's not a human brain, it's a computer brain. A computer understands consistency, and it can focus on that. So if you've left Whatnot for a bit and you're coming back, or you're just getting started, you have to build up that consistency, and you have to build up a recent history for the algorithm to understand. So it does take time to rebuild yourself in the discoverability. But that's where you're sharing on your social media and encouraging people to come to your shows from your social media will help. Even if you ask them to just come in and bookmark your show, that is another signal to Whatnot that this is a show that's going to be of interest. You cannot force the system to like you, Loki, but you can give it every reason to show you. So that's it for that. Lydia says, and buyers like consistency too. Often you wait for a show and then they keep delaying and even cancel. Hi, my name is Kim. I do that often. Sorry. All right. So let me check out the questions and see what questions we have that I may have missed. Hang on. Connecting Arrows asks if the raid train coordination is established on Discord. We have a raid train channel that you can go to on our unofficial Whatnot Canada Discord. And there you will find all kinds of raid trains that are coming up. If you're interested in running a raid train and you're looking for someone to partner with you, I suggest doing it as a team. Makes life easier if there's a couple of you to share the load. It makes life a lot easier. Definitely don't do what I did, which is do it all by myself. Make sure you have a partner. You'll find that that you can do that. You can say, I'm thinking about running a raid train about dogs. Is anyone else interested in helping me out on that? And you'll have people that come and answer you that with that. So, and Sicilian Baby said, the one thing I don't love on here as a buyer is being asked, what would you like to see many times and not showing any product? Yes. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying, if anyone's got anything that are interested in seeing, let me know. I'm just going to do a shelf scan. But here's the thing. When you do a shelf scan, again, we're talking about discoverability. It's a signal to the app. If you just do a shelf scan for 10 minutes without running anything, also, some people disagree with me, but I find that 80 to 90% of people in a room will never say a single word. They will bid, they will buy, but they won't say a single word. They may be busy. They may be washing the dishes or, at work, and they're just kind of listening in while they, do their housework, or they're watching, but they can't always type because their hands are busy with something else. So my recommendation is always to, if you're going to do a scan, stop every couple of items and grab something and just run it. And that's why if you have random pulls set up, that makes life easier because you can just quickly weigh it and know. Or if you've got a shelf, a scanning shelf set up, just put little sticky notes or something on the bottom. Loki, come here. On the bottom with what the weight is. So you don't have to, if you already pre-weigh it and write that down, then you already know what you need to select for the weight if you're doing random pulls. If you've already got like a pretty shelf, like just do little tags to attach to it that's got the weight on it and your starting price and all that just written on it, so you know. So it's almost like your little store. And I also sometimes just don't know what to ask for. So I'm like, can I see, please? Yeah. So I find that if you're going to there's nothing wrong with doing a scan show. Just make sure that you stop every, like, if you do one shelf, pick something off the shelf and say, this is my favorite thing. And this is why it's my favorite thing. And I'm going to run this. And if there's anything on this shelf that you're interested in, let me know. And then pick up a couple more things off that shelf and then say, all right, we'll come back to that shelf. If anyone's interested in anything on that shelf, just let me know and I will definitely run it. And then you can scan the next shelf and pick like 2 or 3 things to run off that shelf, and then etc. And then come back to those shelves again. Also, you may have scanned all your shelves But while you've been scanning, other people have come into the room and they don't see those shelves beforehand. So go back to those shelves, show something else and run something else. People will speak up if they do want something, but again, a lot of people are not going to. Allie's Closet asks, do you really need a listing for every single item weight? Like I'm selling Lululemon and I have a listing for every weight and various prices. So Allie's Closet, if you have, like, if you know that Lululemon pants always are about this weight, then just do Lululemon pants, quantity 500. Loki, come here. Quantity 500, $20 start, and you just select the right weight for that. Shirts, whatever it is, you can do it that way, or you can do clothing, up to 500 grams, clothing up to 1 kilogram, clothing 1 to 1.5 kilograms, etc., or pounds, whatever you want to use. You can do it that way as well. So if you have questions, please let me know, and I will try to answer. I just got through all the questions. Wild Yamper, it's so great you're here. Thank you for joining. You're welcome, Carolines. That's what I'm here for. Folks like What Liz Likes were the OGs of seller chats, and I just thought, since there was no Canadians that were doing it, I started doing it just to add to and pay it forward, because people like What Liz Likes kept me going when I wanted to quit. And I love you, Liz. Allie's Closet says it's so hard when people say nothing while selling kids' clothes in 50 sizes and 2 genders. Well, yes, I know that would be crazy. I don't know how clothing sellers do it. There's so much to know. What Liz Likes says, the people who request stuff in the chat, don't wait to be asked. Pokemon, knives, watches. Yeah. Do you got any Pokemon? Do you got any watches? I always find it funny when someone comes in, asks for Pokemon, and then I say, yes, actually I do. And then they're like, what? Wait, what? I sometimes wonder if they just come in, say it, and then just quickly leave. Yeah, Pokemon, knives, and watches. If you're in estate sales, people are always looking for that. Everyone else does not ask, but those folks do. You're so right, Liz. Living the Dream says that she also doesn't always chat. She listens, but will you'll get her attention once she hears about something of interest. Yeah. So a lot of people are listening in. They're not even watching. So that's why also describing the thing that's in your hand is really important. Loki, I have more. Lydia says, when scanning, have things organized in a way that the buyer actually has a way to tell you which item without needing a million descriptions. Yeah, so you can always, one of the things that I saw one seller who actually had, and Liz, I think you did this in one show, where you had a tray with the sections. So it was like row A, column 1. So someone could say A1 or B2. And that's a really great way to do it too. Loki. So you could always number the items. Loki. And then also, if you Loki, come here. If you've also pre-listed, then it's easier for you to find the item in your store to pull it up to auction. So if you look at my ephemera show today, all my items are numbered, and I will have everything set up by number, so that if somebody asks for something, I'll be able to quickly flip to that item by number and quickly find it. If some in my listing on my auction, I'll be able to find it. And one of the things I used to do when I did raid trains for like vintage decor is I would set up the tables surrounding me. I would be like in a U shape, so that I could just start at A, and so I'd have table A, shelf B, and I would list there, and then everything had like A1, A2, A3, so I could quickly turn and grab that thing without having to look. If you've got a lot of shelves, Loki, come here. So it's not bad to sell a 1 to 3 ounce item under 4 to 7. I would even go a little bit higher, Allie's, depending on what, if I have something that's breakable that weighs 1 to 3 ounces, I will go way higher than that. I will go like I will select 8 to 11 sometimes, because by the time I box it up. But if it's clothing, that's a little bit easier. You're just shoving it in a or not shoving it, placing it gently and elegantly in a poly mailer. So it's a little bit different. Carolyn's Resale says, I sell random items from my thrift shop. I love that. Should I create listings by weight so I can pin according to weight for correct shipping? That is the easiest way if you're going to just walk around your thrift store without pre-listing. Yes, that would be the way that I would do it. And if I was, oh, thank you, Liz. Oh, I'm going to cry. And thank you so much, Sean Jason, for that tip. You are awesome. Everyone, please follow Sean Jason. That is so sweet of you. Thank you so much. Lydia asks about community boosts. How do they work? So, Loki, come here. Community boosts are a promotion, and your buyers, your viewers, can put in money together to collectively pay for your show to be promoted, which highly increases your discoverability. Sometimes if you go to the For You page, every once in a while you'll see a show that under the name of the person it says sponsored. That means that either they paid for a promotion, which is like an ad, kind of like using Google Ads to get yourself up at the top of a search result. It's the same kind of idea. You can pay for that. Do I think right now for Canadians that it is worth doing? No, because Loki, come here. Because there is no way of telling the system to only show you to Canadians. And I love Americans. I actually really love America. I think it's a beautiful place. Like, it's where I grew up. That was where we vacationed. But because of the tariffs and the removal of de minimis, for me personally, I don't get a lot of US buyers now, because I'm on the lower end. Like, I'm selling low cost stuff, low start stuff. I'm not selling high end things. I'm doing more estate sales and deal hunting. So for me, advertising, spending money on promotion right now on promote tools isn't cost effective for me, because most of the people who are going to see it and may come into my show are US folks who are not going to be buyers, and I want buyers. So I'm going to do all these other things with discoverability to help boost my show instead. So the wonderful community boost is an amazing thing. And Loki, come here. And it's so sweet when people do it. But it only lasts for 15 minutes. The community boost only lasts for 15 minutes. So it's not a lot of time, really. Okay, last call for any questions that anybody has. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to share your shows. If you are a seller and you'd like some follows, or you want to introduce yourself, feel free to. And we're going to be rating into Loki, come here. Loki, come here. We're going to be rating in just a few minutes. Allie's Closet asks, how do you use 2 devices during a show? For me, you just sign into the second one. If you sign into the second one, go live on the one that has the camera. So right now I'm talking to you on my iPhone, because iPhone has some extra features that Android doesn't have. So I'm talking to you on my iPhone right now. But I use my Android to run shows. Ooh, what Liz likes is I'm doing $1 starts all week. She's in the US, but you know what? Her stuff is freaking amazing, and it's worth the shipping. I've bought a bunch of things from Liz. You're amazing. What Liz likes. What Liz likes. Everyone follow. And she also does great chat show as well. But go to her buying shows as well. Trista Blue says, I gifted the teacups to my Galentine's and had a tea party. I love it. I love it, Trista. Those were such great teacups. I was in love with every one of those teacups. Sean Jason says, hello, Canada. I'm near Toronto. Selling on here. Let's connect. Awesome, Sean Jason. Welcome, welcome. Tell us what you're going to sell. Rena Jax, oh, you're welcome. Living the Dream Salt and Pepper Shaker show today at 4:40 p.m. Please bookmark. If I need to reset show, how do I do that without ending show? So you end the show and then you can restart your show. So if you start freezing or lagging or having phone problems, or you run out of battery, you can just end your show and then go to seller.whatnot.com on a browser. Loki, come here. Seller.whatnot.com. Loki. seller.whatnot.com on a browser, and then you are going to see, distracted squirrel. Seller.whatnot.com on a browser, and then you want to go to your shows, and then you want to go to Loki, come here. He's full now. That's why. On your browser, you go to your shows, click on past shows. If you click on past shows, then you can restart your show. It just has to be within 2 hours. So you can try, is what Liz like says. You don't have to, if you have starting to glitch, you don't have to end your show. You can close the app and come back in. You can restart if you officially raid, or you can, even if you raid, you can restart your show now, Liz. You can go to seller.whatnot.com, go to your shows, then go to past shows. That show will be at the top, and then you can click out, click to, yeah, but it has to be within 2 hours of you ending the show. So you can even raid and still, yeah, it's new. It's new. Although for Canadians now, a lot of Canadians were starting to restart their shows in order to keep their boxes open for their customers. So they were using it as a cheat. But now Canada has a new feature called weekly bundling that's also available in Germany, Australia, and Austria, and in parts of the UK. So we don't need to do that anymore. So, but that's why we Canadians know how to restart shows, because a lot of us, I think I only tried it once and I failed because the internet was bad where I went. Loki, you gotta stop. You really have to stop. I don't know who's out there and what your problem is, but you have to stop. You're not getting any more treats. Go find a toy and I will throw the toy. Rena, is it Renajax or Ren Ajax? Can I reach out to you about international shipping? To Liz. If you have questions, let me know. If you do have questions about shipping that I can help you with too. Are you a Canadian seller or a US seller? Now I have to look. Now I'm nosy. Oh, you're a US seller. So yeah. Liz is a great person to answer questions about. Liz is a great question to answer questions about shipping in the US. Also, the Hodgepodge Place and D_Archivist have great shipping videos on their YouTube that will help you. International shipping from the US isn't that hard. I don't think you guys even have to put in country of origin. I think it's only us Canadians that have to do, or us non-Americans that have to do that. Magnus Barbarika says, I use restart show only for the same day shows to keep my bookmarks of the same show. That makes sense. Elvira says, Monday, 10:30 a.m. Central Time, $5 starts, goth, Y2K, vintage clothes, and more. Allie's Kids Closet, it's a feature that's available at seller.whatnot.com. Go to your shows, go to your past shows, and if you've ended a show abruptly because of a technical issue, you can restart your show as long as you click that restart show within 2 hours after your show ending. You can then go in and edit the show. Once you've hit restart show, it will go to your upcoming shows tab. It will move over. So then you can then edit it and change the date and the time. But don't do that too often, because otherwise that feature will get taken away. Carolyn's Resale says, brand new seller. Please follow, bookmark, and support for flea market treasures. I love it. Ooh, Collecto Cards is going live tonight from his new streaming studio. Just moved in yesterday. Sweet Collecto Cards. Congratulations. That's exciting. All right. Last call for any questions. Did I miss anybody? I want to make sure I get to everybody. Tiny Bubbles is a new seller in US pulp crime book paperback writer. Next week, please follow. Check us out. Got a lot of fun shows coming up too. I love that. Allie's Kids Closet says, follow me for Lululemon, American Eagle, and cheap kids clothes. I love that. Lydia says, can you make a YouTube video of behind the scenes of how you handle the 2 devices? I'd need a third device for that. I don't have a third device. I don't have a third device. Dove and Arrow says getting prepped to start selling vintage and handmade jewelry and home decor. I love it. Souls Creations is a Canadian one-stop shop for your craft supplies. I have a show in the next 8 minutes. Shop with Danny is having a Valentine's show today at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern. Women's clothing, $5 starts for all blouses. And Sean Jason is selling marbles and more. Connecting Eras has a show today, and I'm selling lots of jewelry. And my milestone to 1,000 sales is about 90 sales away. Canadian vintage seller. Oh, that's awesome. Living the Dream has a salt and pepper shaker show. Why did I have problems reading that? Salt and pepper shaker show today at 4:40 p.m. Please bookmark. I think I'm caught up now. Except you've probably have said more stuff while I've been doing it. You're going full force. I love it, Collecto Cards. You are awesome. Allie's Closet. I have 3 shows next week for Baby Clothes, Lululemon, and American Eagle. Follow and bookmark. Oh, you're welcome, Caroline. East Ender Resales, the Family Fashion Raid Train, the Family Fashion Accessories Raid Train is tomorrow, and today is the Days Gone By Ephemera Raid Train. That's who we're going to be raiding into, which I think it is Vintage who's on next. So we're going to be raiding in just a couple of minutes to Vintage as part of and I'm going to be on at 5 p.m. today selling ephemera. I have so much. I'm going to be running fast. I have to run fast and furious because I've got like way too much stuff. I Vintiquity was like, put in 35 items. And I'm like, okay, I'll do that. And then I started listing and I couldn't stop listing. And now it's like 60 something. Dave from Alberta is planning to do a show tomorrow. Fire Rescue, Too Nice to Melt, New Gold, Silver, and Sherman listed. Sherman jewelry from Dave from Alberta. Make sure you're there. Some other miscellaneous things too. I love that. DJE, please come out to my shop, fully loaded, doing a show in 2 weeks. First show for DJE 777. Awesome. Okay, so I'll be on at 5 p.m. tonight. Because of what happened with Loki, I didn't do as many shows as I wanted to this week, but tomorrow my date is totally full because we have Hastings Winterfest happening here in the beautiful village of Hastings, Ontario on the Trent River. So if you want to come and visit, we've got free hot chocolate and free outdoor ice skating and music from 1 to 4 p.m. Actually, the outdoor ice rink is open all the time, but yeah. Vintage is live now. Awesome. Thank you, my personal collection. Okay, so I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for hanging out. We're going to, hopefully I helped you with a little bit of more information about discoverability that you can use. Again, this is going to be available on YouTube, Twitch, and we're also live now on Facebook as well. So you can check me out there. And I hope that I will see you again very soon. I love you guys so much. Have an awesome day. Be kind to one another. And tell somebody you love them today because it's Valentine's Day, even if it's just your dog. I love you, Loki. All right. Bye for now. Let's go raid. Let's show a lot of love in when we get there. Bye.